How's it going, and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name is Rob. In this video we're going to be taking a look at this. This is the DD3 delay, digital delay from Boss, right? But more specifically we're going to be taking a look at sort of the idea of using a digital delay for any application you may use delay for. So I'm a delay fan, more so than a reverb fan. I've delay on all my boards, and anytime I want to do anything atmospheric, it's always a delay more so than a reverb. And mostly I would use analog delay, tape delay modulation, or tape delay emulation, or then a lot of the time analog delay with modulation. So I would always kind of overlook digital delay as being too pristine and not being what I'm looking for. But I picked this up in a trade here in Ireland recently, because it's not something I ever would have bought. And I took it with the express intent to selling it, and I'm not going to sell it, because this is a really, really cool pedal that can do really, really nice things. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you this pedal playing the main delay part in a track that's heavily dependent upon a rhythmic delay for a lot of it, right? And then it also has ambient delay parts, and this can do both of those things really, really well. So the song is called Lonely Lives, my band is called Kampala, and here is the DD3T doing all the delay sounds in that. So there you go. As you can see, it does that like quarter note repeat space filling thing about a rhythmic thing in the intro of that song really, really well. And then it does a sort of constant repeating kind of ongoing pick thing really, really well. But then in the chorus, with the use of the whammy bar and the strat, it really sort of brings nice modulation into play. Obviously this doesn't have modulation, but you can do that by gently using the whammy bar on the guitar. So really quickly before I get into the video, I'll just explain the controls. So this has two outputs. It has the output with the effect on it, but it also has a direct out. So you could send one signal with a delay and one signal without it, which was interesting. It's kind of a wet dry kind of thing. Then on the other side it has a guitar input and has a tap tempo switch. And in the demo I demonstrate just using the tap tempo. It just takes a one button momentary foot switch, takes 9-volt power up the top, and as with all Boss pedals, it's built to take a lot of abuse. It's also in this really nice sort of off-white finish, because all the old Boss digital delays were in like a really bright white, but this is a slightly off-white and it's kind of metallic. It's really nice. And then there's an effect level, which is the level of the repeats. There's a feedback control, which is a number of repeats. There's a time control, which is how you dial in exactly how long the repeats are. And then there's this other switch which has basically short, medium or long delay, and then a hold function which is like a really simple looper. I don't demonstrate the looper, I just go into the delays. I'm not a looper guy, I don't use loopers. So yeah, there you go, the DD3 digital delay from Boss. Here's how it sounds. So I'm going to keep this demo kind of short if I can. There's a few different things that I think the digital delay does really well, and specifically in this case, this particular digital delay does really well, that I'd like to touch on, right? And the first of those is The DD3 isn't modulated, but if you have a guitar with a whammy bar, there's a particular type of modulated delay that comes off of a digital delay. It's really wonderful, right? And it sounds like this. So I'm playing Strat. It's an American standard Strat. And then I'll throw the full pedal board up on screen for a second now, right? And I have the Mosky Silver Horse, which is a clone type thing. I have the DD3, but you can see that above it there, it's the top of a Mosky dual foot switch. That's doing tap tempo. And then I'm using the Moore Prime M2, I think it's called, for my amp modeler. And I've got two amps I'm using. I'm using a kind of a Vox. And I'm using a Fender. And start with the Vox, right? So there's a thing that you can do with a digital delay, right? I have quite a lot of feedback on it. Now, as you can see, the repeats are completely pristine. There is no degradation in sound there at all. The repeats get quieter, they don't degrade. They may degrade slightly and lose a little bit of top end as it goes, but not much. I don't even think they do, you know. It's a digital delay and it repeats stuff digitally, like so perfectly basically, right? So that's the sound I'm using, right? The first thing I like to do with a digital delay, and I say this like to, I've kind of just discovered this in the last few days. So if you just play this kind of arpeggiated part, right? There it is. If you do the slightest wobble of the tremolo bar, you get this delicious modulated delay. There it is again. And it's not the easiest thing to do, because if you overdo it, you get a tremolo bend, but if you just gently tap it, that was it there. It's kind of hard to do, but you wouldn't get that with an analog modulated delay. I just think that's a bit special, right? So that's one thing. The next thing that it does is kind of, if you do the same thing with a big gain on, it works as well. So it's really gorgeous. What you cannot do with a digital delay in any way, shape or form that has a lot of repeats and a lot of level up is play any sort of lead. It just doesn't work. I'll show how I would use it in a lead guitar context a bit later on, right? But that's the first thing. The next thing is super obvious, right? And it's the it's that .8 thing, and actually for .8 your feedback should be much lower. I don't think an analog delay has a top end. Maybe a tape delay will do it well, but I don't think an analog delay just has a top end to do that as well as that's doing. Like, it's just beautiful. And there's the song that I wrote with my own band a few years ago that used that technique, which went like this. More back pickup. turn on the overdrive. Drop my pick. If you're looking to do distorted stuff that has a massive amount of ambience to it, I think a .8 delay with a really high level and a digital delay is a really interesting thing. Is a modulated thing. So yeah, I really think very much worth a look if you're looking to do delay in kind of a .8 thing, or indeed that modulated thing. Now there's two other things, without changing anything on the timer or the time or the feedback. I can bring it back to the first setting, which is a super short delay, right? Which is where you get this doubling thing. It's a really interesting effect. Without it, and with it, yeah. Really interesting effect for like a part in a song. And then the other thing you can do, you switch it to the medium time, you get a slapback. Again, a very distinctive thing doing that on the digital delay, very much its own thing. So I think you can use this, in a lot of different circumstances, and just as a matter of interest. Oh, there's one obviously I have to do if I'm in the drop D, which is obviously it can do this particularly well. Back up. Do you know, I would actually yes, that's my very much in the realms of, but not exact version of Run Like Hell by Pink Floyd, which I think actually he did with an echo rack originally, but certainly from the 70s and 80s onwards he does that with a digital delay. So that's kind of the majority of what I wanted to talk about. I think it's a really interesting effect with a lot of different uses, and I'll be hanging on to this because I bought it thinking I was going to trade it, or took it thinking I was going to trade it, but there'll be a lot of situations where this will come in very handy. So there you go, the DD3. If you're looking for a surprisingly versatile delay pedal that can do a lot, and especially with the addition of the tap tempo, it's really, really useful. You should check one of these out. Digital delay is a really interesting thing. I think I would always pair it with an analog delay on my board, but I think I was dismissing it, and I think that was the wrong thing to do. So check out the DD3 if you're looking for digital delay. It's an oldie but a goodie. So that's it. Any questions, throw them in the comment section down below. If you've watched this far, as always, I'll ask you please like and subscribe. And also, the track you saw at the beginning of the video is by my band Kampala. If you liked that song and you want to hear more of our stuff, I'll throw a link to our current single in the card at the end of this video. Click on it, go check us out. If you like us, please subscribe. If you don't like us, don't subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, and I'll see you in another video again soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.